Hello. Welcome to A Mind Elevation with Shavariel. That's me. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, February 5th. Black History Month. Black History Love. Black History Future. Black History Elevation. What's going on, everyone? May you all be good, be doing well, and safe as always. So, anyway, hopefully you all are doing good, especially in these times. It's not enough for people to say, "How are you doing?" Because a clear response would be like, "Oh, good, great." And they could be doing good or great, but you do have some that are just like, "Oh, I'm good," or "I'm okay." Just okay. Could it be better? Just check up on your loved ones, check up on those you love, and or if you're in need, make sure you check on yourself, or reach out to somebody who loves you and who will support you. That way you are doing good. So now is not the time to be by yourself and isolated. That's how the enemy wants us. No, you go and you get support and you get love and you pray to the Lord God. So, in my last video, I spoke about children obeying their parents. And y'all please share that, because I know I'm not the only person that's just like, "Girl, you right." And yes, I am, because I was one of those children that didn't obey my parents. So I was a handful. So, but I gave the rundown of just, why from my own experience, and, how everybody else can relate to that, because it is a serious issue and a serious thing, for children to obey their parents. And then not only that, but parents be there for their children, not to be an absentee parent. You can be there and still not be there, and it's good to have that reminder. Money doesn't fix everything. Money does not make a person happy. Just throwing money at your child on their birthdays or holidays, or just to say, "Look, I'm sorry I missed your tournament, your karate tournament, your cheerleading tournament, your soccer tournament, your basketball game, football game, baseball game, hockey, ROTC event," whatever it is, your science event, whatever it is, that child expects you to be there as their parent. So in this, I wanted to go further, about truth, because in the last video, of course, with obedience, you're expecting to know the truth. Even as adults, like, you just expect, if you're going to be faithful to somebody or loyal to somebody or to something, you expect the truth is there. And that's with anything. So in that, it's really important for us to teach our children truth, and truth at a young age. Because again, children are impressionable and they are going to need it. Just think, when you grew up, or when I think about when I grew up, I didn't necessarily know what the truth meant. When I was growing up, my mom didn't allow us to say the word lies. That was like cussing in my household. She just said, "Stop storytelling." And I would be like, "What is storytelling? Just say lies." Like, even then, when I was younger, I would just think like that and speak like that. So, but it is important for your children to know. I'm not saying talk to them like a grown adult. No, don't do that, because you'll mess your child up. But just meet them where they are. Again, if they're 5, just make it plain to them what the truth is at 5 for what they need to know. Okay, you have truth, you have what's right, and you have what's wrong. They are going to need to know that. And that's it. That's it. And depending on the situation that you want to break down to them, say, "Hey, Bobby, son, or hey, Priscilla, daughter, do you remember when I went to go pick you up from daycare class or school, and your friend came and hit you on the back hard, and that made you cry? But instead of your friend saying, hey, friend, I'm sorry, your friend ran over to the other kids and laughed at you. Do you see that? Now, was that the right thing to do? And your child will say, no. See, you just taught your child truth. See, that's what I mean. Teach your children truth at a young age, because they will need it. They and teach them what a lie is. So then you know, okay, do you remember when we were at the playground and your friend said they would play with you when they finish drinking their water and they came back, they didn't play with you, they went to go play with the other kids, right? And your child be like, yes, yes. And you can say, okay, now did they tell the truth? And you can, and that person, that child could say, well, no. And you can say, okay, that's what you call a lie, because they said they would come play with you. They instead passed you up, went to go play with other kids, and then when you went to go ask, like, hey, you said we were going to play, and then they just shrugged you off, just ignored you. See, that's not telling the truth. See, that's a lie right there, because they lied to you. But that's not the right thing to do, because if you wanted to play with somebody, you would stick to your word and tell the truth and say, hey, I'm going to play with you. Just let me get some water. I'll be right back. And then you go back. You stand by your word now. You tell the truth. You go back and then you go play. Like that. Now, if it's to where a 5-year-old can't understand you, and I've had to go through that also, then that means we're doing too much as parents. And I've had to check myself on that also. So make it precise, make it clear, short, to the point, to where they can relate, and use a real situation to where your young child can understand that you are teaching them truth and lie, what's right, what's wrong, and then bada bing, that's it. That's it. But the reason why I want to stress to parents and guardians, brothers and sisters and cousins, why it's important for you to know the truth at a young age. Now, don't just now please, don't just go up to your baby brother or sister and be like, hey, you want to know the truth? No, wait a minute. No. If they are at an age like about 4 or 5, that's a good place to start. But you have to make it to where they can understand. So use a situation that really happened to where it's a teachable moment. Okay? Okay, so you can say, hey, Teresa, do you remember when Brittany pushed you at the play place? And she would be like, well, yes. That's not the right thing to do. That's not a good friend. Teachable moment, okay? So that they know they are nobody's doormat. And they also know, Teresa knows, not to allow another child to put hands on her. And she knows, and Teresa knows, she is not to put hands on another child. Ka-ching, okay? Ta-da! All right? The reason why I say this, teach your child truth. Raise them up in truth. Raise them up in truth. Because you do not want this child to be raised to continue to grow in life not knowing what truth and lie is. Because then they'll take everybody's word, and we don't do that, because everybody is not to be trusted. They'll take people's word for the gospel truth, knowing that everybody cannot be trusted. And they will possibly believe in the wrong things. Okay? Now, I know what that's like, because again, I didn't have the truth. I didn't have that truth told to me as a young person. And it messed me up. It messed me up. I was a people pleaser, going off of everybody's word, just thinking that the whole world was unicorns and roses. And it was not. And I was doing stuff that I had no business doing because I thought it was okay. And I'll give you a personal experience. And it is hard for me to talk about because I don't want to talk about it. But glory be to God, it's just a teachable moment. So when I was younger, I was molested at 5 years old. I was molested. And that person in my family had me do things that I feel that it won't, that's between me and God. Details of what happened to me is hard to talk about. It's not something I want to speak about because of those images. But you know, it was just unspeakable things that I went through as a child with molestation at such a young age. And the reason why I share that is because I didn't know what truth was. And if my parents had encouraged and taught me of truth and lie, now at some point they were just like, "Are you sure nobody's touching you?" But by that time it was too late. It was too late. And I lied to protect that person. You know, I lied because sometimes I didn't like being home and I wanted to go over to another relative's house. But in order to do that, for me to go over to another relative's house, I was touched inappropriately, and things were being done to me. And so, with that, you'll know I'm a private person. For me and my testimony, I can only share so much because this isn't about me. It's just about others. It's about a teaching moment. It's about also just with warnings and cautions, and just knowing that it's too many of these stories like mine that are out in the world. It's way too many. And so that's why I say, teach your children truth between a lie. Because with me having been molested, my eyes are like wide open, you know? And because what you don't want is somebody to have an instance or a situation where they touch your child. I don't care who it is. Grandma, grandparent, grandfather, auntie, uncle, mother, father, brother, sister. It really does not matter who it is. You do not want a situation to happen with your child to where something inappropriate is happening and your child is not able to comprehend to you that what is happening to them, because they feel like, you know, that person is making it seem like what they're doing to your child is a game, and oh, don't tell. And your child's like, oh, okay, I won't tell. I don't want to get this person in trouble or anything. Wrong is wrong, right is right. So that's why I say you better teach your children truth now. 4 or 5. Start there. 4 years old, start there, but make it in an instance where they can understand and it's something that has actually happened. Again, you know, you have life experience. We go through life every day. So it's something that you can use every day to just put seeds of truth and righteousness into your child's heart so that they know they stand on that. And as they grow, they will be able to continue in truth and know when something's right and know when something's wrong, you know? So with that, it's hard. It can be hard. It can be a hard thing, especially with going through something like that. You just have the thought that I don't want this for my child. So let's start with knowing what's truth and what a lie is. Let's start where you know what's right, you know what's wrong. And I tell my child, don't ever let anybody touch you. And you don't touch them. Keep your hands to yourself. And you tell that child, keep their hands to themselves. They got one warning. There is no 3 strikes you're out with me. And that didn't even sound right when I said it the first time in one of my videos way back. And even then I corrected myself. I said, no, you tell a child one time, hey, keep your hands to yourself. I'm warning you. Give a stern warning so that they know not to do it again, because that child heard them. That other child can hear, not unless they have impairing disabilities or something like that. But even then, that's a whole different conversation. We're not talking about disabled children. We're talking about well-being children who have 2 ears, who can talk, and who knows what they're doing. So tell them, keep your hands to yourself. And I tell my child, keep his hands to himself. I give him permission to defend himself. If after that one warning that he gave, that child is still acting up, you got my blessing. Go ahead and defend yourself and do what you need to do. And I will watch you, and I will be right there to protect you and defend you. That's it. And you gotta, like I said, watch your children, watch who they're around, even around family members. Now, every family member is not messed up in the head like that. That's not what I'm saying. However, let's not put it past those who are around us to be like everybody is a saint, and they're not. We don't know what goes through people's minds and what they're looking at behind closed doors and what they're engaged in behind closed doors. Because some of the things that this world is going through, not even some, a lot of things what this world is doing, worldly people, is going straight to hell. And you don't want your child in that midst, So again, meet your child where they're at that age. Don't go have a grown 35-year-old conversation with a 5-year-old. That's not. And even a therapist is going to tell you, a psychologist is going to tell you, what are you doing? Don't do that. You can make it to where it meets them at their age group and their understanding. Because age group is not one size fits all. You also have to watch for your child's understanding. So meet them where they're at. If your child can relate to trucks, make it to where it relates to trucks. And an instance happened at school where they had an issue with that child and your child had a disagreement over trucks. And you can say, hey, was that the right thing to do for Timothy to call you a butthead for not giving you his truck? No, that wasn't the right thing to do, was it? And your child will be responsive. Or Brittany, your child could be Brittany, daughter Brittany. Okay, was that okay for Jessica to take your Barbie doll out of your hand after you just told her you would give her your Barbie doll, but she has to wait a moment? Was that the right thing to do, Brittany? No, you don't ever let nobody take anything out of your hand. Okay? All right, so, but again, meet your child where they're at. Because when your child sees that as you being their parent, that you want to protect them and be truthful, and they will feel that. You don't fake truthful energy. It's either you're truthful or you're malicious. What are you? You're either truthful or you're a liar. Which are you? So they will feel that energy. And in feeling that, knowing that you have their best at heart, they'll still test you now. Your children will still test you, but they will trust you. So, truth it is. I take truth. And the word of the Lord says, truth, 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 truth. He does not like liars. Yes, a lot of us lie. I done told lies. I used to be a prolific liar. Just, again, people pleaser. Just lie about stuff I had no business lying about. But all of that is in the past. So it's about integrity in the word of the Lord, because I fear the Lord, and also truth builds trust. So, and that's a key thing, trust. But again, you don't trust everybody. You can give truth to people and not trust a single soul. Again, it's integrity, and it's the right thing to do. So may this find you well. Share to care. Share to care. And this was not easy to do, but I will make another follow-up video because I want us to really understand this The youth is our future. We are our future. Even if you're like 70 something, you are still our future, okay? 50 something, you still our future. 30 something, you still our future. 20 something, 18 something, you're still our future. And youngins, 10 and younger, you are our future. We need each other. So let's go ahead, get this thing rolling with truth. Make sure you subscribe. That way you know when I'm uploading videos, and like this video if it found you well, and then also share to care, share with others. Even if you listen to me, don't just share with those you like, okay? Share with those who you don't like. See, that's the thing right there. You share with those just because. What reward do we have if we just do good by those who love us? See how I just dropped that knowledge on you? Even send it to a person you don't care for. Be like, yeah, they could use this. Hey, LOL. Don't do LOL if you're not really laughing. See, that'd be a lie right there. Hello. I have a video that is so good. It's so good. You might want to check it out because, girl, there's some jewels dropping in here. Check it out. It's at youtube.com/The Mind Elevation with Shavariel. Ding. Let me know what you think. And then that's it. And then you just helped us in the algorithm, and then you just helped us grow our community. And I thank you so much. All right. Talk to you again soon. Bye.